we are very comfortable to be kind to the people that we meet in our daily life. But somehow when we look at the person in the mirror, we somehow switch that mode to be a lot more critical. Hi, I'm Bernard, currently the NIE Wellness Center Clinic Manager, where the center focuses on rendering counseling support and psychological assessment. Well, self-compassion is the ability to understand oneself, accept oneself, and being secured in that environment. I think self-compassion has generally seen to be, could be a reliever for many of the mental health related issues, such as anxiety, stress, which is underlying by a lot of insecurities. So I would say that self-compassion kind of forms the foundation of, for one, in order to help themselves in their mental well-being. I think some of the thoughts could be running at the back of their head. It will be focusing a lot on their flaws, therefore leading to insecurities, which could lead to other issues such as anxiety, depression, and so on and so forth. I mean, if I were to push even a little further, I wouldn't be surprised to say that some of these limitations could even affect their personal and professional life. It's very interesting that when we talk about self-compassion, we are very comfortable to be kind to the people that we meet in our daily life. But somehow when we look at the person in the mirror, we somehow switch that mode to be a lot more critical. We find fault with the person that we see in the mirror. So probably one simple and a small step habit that we could start off with is probably the first thing when we look at ourselves in the mirror is to say one good thing to that person that we meet every day. Generally, most Singaporeans are very busy people. They have a lot of roles to do. They are working, some of them could be studying and working. They have young ones to look after. Some of them even have elderly parents to look after. So almost short of a better word to put it, they end up giving a lot more than they actually receive. So I think the question is to ask is that how do we give from an empty bowl? Couldn't we spare that 5 minutes or 2 minutes? I mean, 5 minutes is too much. Maybe just 2 minutes just to close our eyes, focusing on just ourselves and allowing the thoughts to flow and taking deep breaths at the same time. So kind of like a simple breathing technique or a simple breathing exercise, just focusing ourselves only for at that point of time. Some of the onsets of burnout will probably include things like that lack of motivation to do whatever we used to enjoy, that tiredness, that feeling of I don't see anything beyond this. It becomes a routine. There's no more meaning. I would say that these are actually the signs of burnout. So for somebody who is busy and having the signs of burnout, then I would say that it's time to probably take a step back. We will tailor our holidays depending on school, the kids' holiday period, right? So, but breaks are not meant to be for only June or December. Breaks are supposed to be even on an everyday basis. Can we take that 2-minute break just to walk and to do something that you enjoy? So that's the most important thing. Rather than waiting it out all the way, okay, I'll wait for it until December. Because when burnout takes place, most often we burn out much faster. And the moment when we burn out completely, when there's no more rope to burn, most of us that itself can lead us to other mental health related issues. In my field of work, I have seen individuals who are very comfortable to help somebody else, but they find it very difficult to do the same thing. And even though we could always position it, can we imagine that you're doing it for somebody else, but you are doing it for yourself? Can they do it? I've also noticed there are individuals who really struggle to do that. I would probably propose for such individuals to start thinking about where that, short of a better word to put it, the lack of self-compassion is even coming from. It could have probably been started somewhere else in the very, very early years of their life. And sometimes I like to call it by saying that it could be probably some early childhood wounding that could have affected them so much that they feel that I actually don't like myself. I don't mind helping another person. I don't mind showing love and care and concern to another person. But if you ask me to turn it to me, I could never do that, right? So I would say for anyone who is struggling in such situation, probably to reach out to any of the professionals who are able to support them. I think in conclusion, probably I would present that I think it's very important to be kind to ourselves, which most often we will probably interpret it as being self-indulgent or being we are having self-pity, or it's almost a privilege. So I would say that if in order to show compassion to others, first we need to start it off with ourselves. So again, one simple technique is to being kind to ourselves is saying one good thing to the person that we meet in the mirror every other day. And also pushing further in order to probably to experience that self-compassion. I think some of us can even try writing a journal or a diary, or probably writing a message to ourselves in terms coming from a place of compassion. Should that all not be able to support the person, then I would say that it's only fair the individual reach out to a professional, let it be a psychologist, counselor, or a therapist, to probably to discuss with them about their concerns, and probably we dive a little deeper to find out where these issues are coming from, and maybe, short of a better word to put it, maybe that's where healing needs to take place.